It's me wanting to explore being a black male in the UK, for example. And then it went from that into me now exploring stories of black British boys and men. And I suppose in that exploration, I wanted to kind of bring out vulnerabilities and bring out a softness, even amidst whatever the frustrations are. And I really wanted to pull the idea of how a body never rests, which to some degree I think is a universal feeling, but I think when it pertains to the black body, there's a certain kind of unrest that happens. But also there is the trickiness of, even when it's time to vent whatever that unrest is, there's still not even room that allows that to happen. So what does one do? I'm in a beautiful place. I'm in such a beautiful place that it took me a while to get here. Because at some point I was thinking, oh, do I need to learn all of these forms in order for these poems to really have the gravity? And then I learned as many forms as I could, and I'm still realizing that, oh, it didn't necessarily bring me all the attention that I think it would need. So then I was stuck. And I was like, why am I stuck? And the only reason why I'm stuck is because I'm not being as true to me as I wanted to be. So now I feel like I got my kind of Bob the Builder toolkit, right? I feel like I can just open a pocket. I can just put all of these things in there, in these different pockets. And I have the control as to when I choose to open it, close it. I have the autonomy as to whether I can open up this Sestina, for example, and open up this pocket of Yoruba and add both in there. Because I didn't think those things were possible before. And the reason why I didn't think those things were possible was because I was limiting my own creativity as to what are the rules. I wanted to realize that, oh, if there's a room for me to create these rules, why not just do it? Because it gets me, it communicates differently to a group of people that also didn't probably think it was possible. Caravaggio is not a Mannerist painter, though he was alive through the Mannerist period. A lot of the parallels in relation to his life, when you compare it to like black boys, men, the stereotypes of that you heard over time, it's no different. You know, he kind of was raised with hardly any men in his life. Tumultuous in the sense of how he reacts to people. All of these tropes I've been hearing of black boys over time, when I was reading up about this man, I'm like, it's no different. But there were still graces that were still afforded then in relation to him painting, and he was commissioned to carry on with his paintings. And also how people speak of him now. And those kind of impunities and those kind of, that allowance, time is not afforded to black men and boys in the same way that I see it is afforded to other white creatives in the fields or wherever it is, art or what have you, because time is really afforded in that sense. So Caravaggio could be anybody within this kind of creative scope of whiteness. But it was very interesting. What I wanted to do was draw those parallels to just be like, if this is a representation of this, then what conversations needs to be had? Because I'm not trying to come here like I have all the answers, but it's factual stuff. You can research some of this. It's on YouTube. It's on all of these different channels, and it's so blatant. And it being that blatant, how can it not be seen as a disrespect in a sense of allowing time for one person, but not allowing time for other people? Do you see what I mean? And so in with his life we go. And some of the paintings, maybe a trollish nature, maybe a slight troll in an absolute stan and fan of Caravaggio might kind of pick up the book and read the title of one of his paintings and feel like, oh, I would like to read about my guy. Do you know what I mean? I want to read about my guy. Only to read about this kid from this council estate, that the story is themed to what the painting's theme was. And my thing is, and this is my thing also, is almost like the dissonance of dissonance and obliviousness of people trying to act like we don't see forms of microaggression, racism, passive aggression, all of these things happening. But if I can bring you in almost like a luring in by a painting of someone that you're really into, and then actually bring you into this young boy's life living on a council estate, then you can't escape that no more. You are just as accountable in informing change and talking about it, because you can't run away from it no more. So in a way, it's almost me trying to bring in folks from the art world to read about lives of black men and boys, experiences of black men and boys, be it in vulnerability, be it in grief, be it in anger. Because we're all living and existing within these same realms. You can't act like you can't see it on your side, where I see everything and I have to adapt around everything. You're not gonna get away with it that easy. Just saying. So that's my trollish nature of it all. And it was quite, the ability to do that. It was tough, it was fun, it was emotional. And it's done now.